is the B League. Now, what's exactly the name for this one? This is just a B League Hoop Showcase.
What you heard about me, I've been astounded. Something for you thinking you might want something from me. Yeah, ain't this all I ever wanted? That's a fact, no, that's a lie, no, I'm confused, yeah. I got problems, what's the use, yeah? Let's be honest, screws are loose, I need them tight, not amusing. Look what I did, brought you something, hope you like it. So precise, the flow is nice, it's so productive,
Right. You see it, man. That's the man.
some filters, aka the Unfiltered room with Mr. E. Gray. Introducing all the latest names in the latest news. Hottest take, he the new face, yeah, the new sound. But keep it old school and raw interviews from local athletes, even digging out for entertainment too. Own style, he got his own lane, it's Unfiltered out, we keep it raw, man. New content to keep the people ready. E36, no Jerome Bait, it's real dialogue and real conversations. You keep it real, but we real. Mr. E. Gray in the building. E36, Unfiltered.
You know what it is, the Unfiltered Room. We have another hot edition, man, another hot take. First of all, once again, to say Happy New Year to everybody. 2021, we in the building. 2021, we made it out of crazy. 2020, yes, out of here, man. But anyway, we got a special guest in the house, man. This is one I'm very excited about. Very eye-opening guy who has been revealing and putting out some great quality. As you guys know, I'm a football guy, you know, thus the road tide. But I always had a love for the game of basketball and just sports in general. So anyway, without further ado, we have Be Elite Hoop CEO and founder from Helen, from also Alabama A&M Bulldog graduate, the man, Jared Jones, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. It's great to have you in the building, man. I had a chance to finally come across you and kind of now put a face with the Be Elite circuit, man, that's out here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. You've been rocking and rolling, man, for quite a few years, since 2011, correct?
Right.
So 2011, man, and now it really like it's for, and I can say, of course, you've been rocking it with it, been doing your thing, but you have become, exclusively known for your hot takes for your Be Elite showcases, your invitationals. I mean, you bring some of the hottest talent up to the North Alabama area.
Right.
Now, with that being said, man, that was something I always have to admit, whether it's good or bad, that I had no clue until recently. We kind of discussed off air that Be Elite was here in Huntsville.
Right.
I'm like, what? I'm been seeing on the gram, on YouTube and everything. You know, I'm like, who's the hot players out here? Well, let's go check out either Radar or Under the Radar or Be Elite. And to see that, man. So let's talk about that, man. What jumped into, started Be Elite, and how you come up with that name Be Elite?
Really like the name, because I actually started off as just Alabama Elite Hoops. And as I was doing that, I was like, man, I feel like this can be bigger than just Alabama. And like I was starting, I had a camp in 2015, and I was just all the players who registered, I was sending out like just different focus points on them, and like the hashtag I was always using was Be Elite. It was just like a mindset. So it was like you can take it off the court. Like even if you don't have aspirations of really going to play college basketball, like being an elite student, get a scholarship, do something. Just have that mindset in everything you do. So that was kind of like how I came up with it, and then kind of just roll with that, because I was getting kids, like people were like, well, do you only work with kids from Alabama? I'm like, nah, man, I work with anybody. So that's when I was like, I got to change the name to something. So that's kind of how I came up with it.
That business management degree. Yes, it is. Okay, I love it, man. And so when you look at it, like you say, you're talking about how you evolve the name, starting out from the name, and how that really helped open up the door as well. Something just small as doing that, but start off as training. So now, was you not being from around here? You're originally from Dayton, Ohio, right? So what is about this area that you felt that had a need for Be Elite hoops and things of that nature?
I mean, because when I would see like a lot of great hoopers. Like when I was at A&M, I would go over to the Scruggs Center and play. Like kids from Lee and Butler would be over there. I'm like, man, these guys can hoop. But it's like I had like, unless I wasn't here, like I wouldn't know about you. Like to even go out and see the game. So I'm like, man. Originally, because I wanted to start off with an AAU team, I'm like, man, I really don't know enough kids around here to even put an AAU team together. So let me start on the training side, man, because I know some people from coming up, like, man, I done worked with some guys that were pretty good.
Yes.
And so, man, just for me to find kids, like I went on ESPN's rankings for the state. And I was just like, any guy I found who was locally, like Decatur, Albertville, wherever. Like I would find them on Facebook or Twitter, like, hey, man, I'm here in Huntsville, man, you want to work out with me? And probably the first one who hit me back was Brandon Roberts.
Okay. Yeah.
He was over at
Decatur.
He's
West Morgan High School at that time, probably.
Yeah, exactly. When I first started talking to him, he was at Austin. This was a year before he transferred.
West Morgan Rebels, baby.
Yeah. So me and Brandon, like we were working out heavy. So then he finally, I didn't get a chance to watch him out of West Morgan much at the beginning of the season, but they came over to Westminster and played.
Okay. Yes.
Man, that game, I think Brandon had like 56. So, and
ridiculous.
I invested in the camera. So I'm like, look, like, let me see, like, the guys I'm working with, like, if they're putting up some numbers, I'll go out and film, do highlights, stuff like that. So I'm there just filming, like, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. They don't know who I am. They're like, who you here to see? I'm like, man, kid, I'm training. They're like, which one?
That's all you need.
Brandon Roberts. Next thing you know, 5 kids hit me up about working out. So I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. So, like, with Brandon, we put out a couple workout videos, and next thing you know, more kids are coming. And that's kind of how we're talking about Lamonte. Lamonte knew Brandon already. So, Then Lamonte hit me up, and it's just started spiraling and growing that way.
Well, you know, it's so organic, man, so crazy. Speaking of Brandon, hey, Brandon, come on up here, man. B-Rock. Get you on the mic at the interview as well.
Right.
But yeah, Brandon doing some great thing. I think he's now overseas, or he may be back now.
Yeah, I think it was just with COVID, it was kind of, the season was weird.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm grateful for him, man. Glad that he got back into the game. I'm like, bro, you can't. We talked actually a couple of times, disparately, and you know, I'm a guy because I played the ball. I played ball myself, and I stayed in it for years. Played arena football, you know, well, semi did arena football, and I'm like, yo, once it's over, once you stop, it's over. Bro. Right. You gotta seize that window, man. And so, but anyway, things have worked out great for him. Now to move from segue into that, let's talk about the showcase, man. So you evolved in the training, got that going. You jumped off into the showcase, dude. Your showcase is just that, a showcase. Right. People clamoring to get the tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I caught wind of it late in the game. By the time I try to get it, what number general admission tickets left? Like, heck, you know, with the lineup you had, and the latest one you had was December the 29th. That was that's the latest one I think you had, right? Yeah. December the 29th. That's Holiday Invitational. So we're gonna check out some of the highlights, man, so you guys can see kind of like the level of players, and you're gonna see a familiar face in there for sure. That graces the camp quite often, or the showcase quite often. Let's check it out real quick. That is the B-League. Now, what's exactly the name for this one? This is the B-League Heat Showcase.
You heard about me, I've been astounded. I got something for you, thinking you might want something from me. Yeah, ain't this all I ever wanted? That's a fact, no, that's a lie, no, I'm confusion. I got problems, what's the use? Yeah, let's be honest, screws are loose. I need them tight, not amusing. Look what I did, brought you something. Hope you like it. So precise, the flow, the nice, it's so productive.
Right. You see it, man. That's the man right there. Getting it popping and going, dunking on anybody who's willing to step up in the front of it and take on that challenge. Now we look at it. I know during COVID, you had kind of shortened it down. I think like only 400 tickets, due to that kind of, you know, making sure to keep everything safe and sound. So, man, how did you get into it? I've seen the showcase before, and people do put on things, but it's most time on the kind of somewhat the AAU circuit. Right. But you got a legitimate high school teams that are in these tournaments. Right. How did you that speaks volume of how far you have come with it. Right. How do you get the schools to be so into this and so down with it?
Like, really, because like probably like out of that highlight, probably all the best players from each of those teams have probably either came to my camps or we trained together in some aspect. So it was like we already had like pre-existing relationships. So it was like the first showcase in 2019, they had JD and Tommy Murray. Like that was like the prime game. It was like we were talking about that game in March. putting that together because I already know these guys. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yes.
I think that'll be good. It's like 1A versus 2A school. You guys kind of in the same boat. We can kind of build on that. But it was just really, then when the kids, when they know I'm having something, they start putting the pressure on the coach. Coach hit me up. Like, it's on now. Like, all right, we good. So then, like, with the teams who are traveling, like, I want you to have, like, a great experience. So, like, man, I put them up in the Element Hotel. Get your food, stuff like that. Give them a little cash for the program. So it was like, it's not just you got to drive up here and leave. So it was like, it's an experience. So it's something to look forward to every year. So that's kind of what I want to build on with them.
Okay, you know, I like that, man. And so, wow, like I didn't know that in depth. That you know how you said. So check it out, y'all. Y'all got some bomb players now.
Right.
You ain't gonna just be getting your kids to come up here and just like I say, coming up, going right back. It's gonna be an experience.
Yeah.
And that's what it needs to be. Because you know, to me, I look at it as an element of preparing them for the next level.
Right.
Because everybody not gonna go to the next level, of course, but those who do, or if they don't, they get a chance to experience how that is. Because you know, when you go to college, you go to these tournaments, different things like this. You get up in the hotel. It's an experience in itself.
Exactly.
You know, you got the people your family, friends want to come to it. So I think that is a very much appreciative aspect to bring. Now, with that, man, I mean that's not easy to do. It takes time. It takes money, resources.
Exactly.
So speak about some of the sponsors that you got to help you with some of these things.
Shit, it's all me. No sponsors, no nothing.
Oh man. Wow.
So that's kind of what I'm really like. When you see the videos and stuff like that, that's what I'm kind of trying to leverage going forward. Like, look, man, if you got like a business and you want a platform to promote it, I can give you that. It was just then like these videos, I mean, you probably get millions of impressions across Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. So I mean, work with me. I work with you. It's a win-win.
You know what? Y'all check it out. You hear it? Go. You want to be a part of this, man. This is not only a landmine for the kids, but also for just for the entire area region and just the school system. Everybody, like I said, everybody wins, man. And you can see when you come there, you would not be disappointed. I mean, the highlights only tell a piece of the story.
And one of my main goals is like, man, we gotta as it keeps growing, like move it over to the VBC. You know, A&M has their new arena they're building. Potentially get in there, have a new facility. Then like these guys, like like you don't really get that anywhere else in the state. Like you may have some big high school gyms, but you're not going to play in a college arena for a 2 or 3 day event or anything like that. So that would be kind of cool for them to look forward to and just kind of build on that.
I like that, man. I love the whole vision of that. And have you guys also, and whether they even know it or not, this is going to grow, if it hadn't already, growing into a site for coaches to be able to come, college coaches to come and check out and lead the kids. Have you guys had that type of exposure just yet?
Last year, I mean, because right now, like no college coaches can travel out and recruit. But last year when Alabama was recruiting JD, like their main recruiter, Antoine Petway, he was at the game. Front row.
Well, Pet was down when I was down, yes.
And crazy thing about it was he had Kyra Lewis right there with him. And John Petty. So it was like, look, man, like that's what it is. It was just like, and that's where it ended up going.
Check it out. You know what it is. Like them, and that's, you know what? Speaking of going back to that, man, John Petty was one of the first ones that I remember being on and learning about him through be Elite Hoops. How impactful, how major was he to be discovered and have him on that platform?
He was big because I think we were I kind of knew JP. I was working with one of his AAU teammates, Alondra Strong, who's he plays football at Alabama State now.
Yeah, I mean,
and
yes. He's at Alabama State now.
Yeah.
Okay, I know when he had transferred to. I worked with Alondra at VSI for a while from the football aspect of it. Right. Yes.
So we were training. That's kind of how I met JP. Seeing him in 8th grade, he's out there dunking on dudes already. I'm like, who is that? It was like, he goes over there. He's going to Ed White. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I made sure I checked him out during the season, kind of just followed him. Then we trained a little bit in 9th grade. And I see his game evolve, and next thing you know, he's the #1 shooting guard in his class. Like he made a game winner over Jason Tatum in Kentucky. Coach Cal was right there offering him the next day. So like he was big. Like he put like a lot of eyes on Huntsville, but it's always been talent here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So now with that being said, as we talk about, some of the things that's going on and some of the players you've been able to garner through your training and now becoming, like I said, so major in the B Elite aspect. Let's talk about freaking JD Davidson, man. How did you discover this? When did you first discover this kid, man? And how that's perfect, my man. And how, that came about, your relationship.
I think he was in 9th grade. And the crazy story was, it was like, I think my father just passed away. So I'm up in Ohio for the funeral, and his mom hit me up. She was like, man, we got a tournament down in Birmingham this weekend. Like, think you can make it? Film myself. Like, I'd never seen him, but I had heard about him a little bit prior to. I know a few kids who played with him. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll come down and check him out. Wasn't disappointed. First game, I think he grabbed the rebound, took 2-3 hard dribbles from the opposite end, dunk. I'm like, okay, he did
ninth grade.
He did this 3 times. I'm like, all right, and I saw his vision. I'm like, man, if he gets a jump shot, keeps on playing, he's gonna be special. But number 1 point guard in the country, I didn't see it coming, but I was like, man, his progression was so fast. It was just like, with that athleticism, and he just kept adding to his game, and he has a ton of confidence, which takes you a long way on the court. Yeah, some guys got the skills, but not the confidence to go out there and do it. So that was the main thing with him. He was just trying stuff, and he has like that freedom at his school just to go out there and try stuff. Yeah, I mean, I literally seen this guy, man, on a highlight in the game. I think he was matched up with my man who's now with Mississippi State, committed to him. 6'10", 6'9", small forward at Ramsey. Oh yeah, Keyshawn. They just played up here this past on Wednesday. They played. Okay, really? They played against Decatur. Missed that. Okay, so yeah, that's right. I'm seeing it right here. 1 o'clock. They played at 1 o'clock. Yeah. So anyway, of course the game was out of hand. Whatever. This guy went. They cleared the court. He went through this between his legs. Boom! Yeah. Missed it. But I'm like, who does that in the game? Like, when he came, when they were here in 2019, he went through the legs and dunked it backwards over Columbia during that showcase. Yo, man, have you seen? Matter of fact, because we can talk about it. I want the audience, my crew, to see it. My audience, the viewers, to see JD Davidson in action. This is a few of his highlights. We'll get that queued up. And like I said, this guy gets working, man. And then we're gonna kind of talk about him. Like I said, this is an extraordinary athlete, man. Like I said, coming here from the state of Alabama, doing his thing. JD Davidson, check us out. That's crazy, man. So because you don't had a chance to spend some time with him and everything, and getting to know him, like I said, he's number 1 ready point guard. Pretty much can go anywhere you want to. Come to the University of Alabama. Hopefully he sticks with the rock and stick with Alabama. Got some things going on. Yeah. So what kind of kid you, from an off the course perspective, that you would tell about JD, man, that just sticks out to you? Just really laid back and reserved, just close to his people. Like that's his thing, man. It was just like, and he's like a real loyal kid. It was like, you don't see him thinking about transferring or anything. That says a lot about his character as well as his family, because like you could easily, you that type of talent, you can go to Oak Hill, Montverde, any of those schools, just leave your guys behind. It's like, so, and he's like, they're still going to all the same events. So it was like, you're not missing anything, and you can graduate at your school, go to prom, do all that stuff. Like a lot of kids, once they start playing those higher levels, like they miss out on a lot of that stuff of being a kid. Yeah, man, and you only get a chance to be it once. Right. They don't understand that. You know, and that's crazy, man, because you say that, like I said, when I found out, I'm like, where's Calhoun? I didn't know where Calhoun was at. I never had heard of Calhoun before. Now, I've been at 2A school, like yourself, but this guy, like I think he was on one of my partners' podcast early on before COVID, like when probably in the midst of COVID aspect when it was hitting, and I remember him talking about his brother, his older brother was really close to him. Okay. Also a dynamic athlete as well, kind of really helped cultivate his game, and working with him, being older, having to play against him, you know, put him a showing the road like, I'm not gonna take it easy on you. You know what I'm saying? So he talked about how much he contributed that to him, and like you said, he was very a mild-mannered kid, you know what I'm saying, which is like kind of, but you on the court, off the ego come out, you know, definitely. And you still don't hear him talk a whole lot, but you see in his eyes, you know, you stand in front of him, you can get it. You know? They had a another. I saw like my man
guys committed to Mississippi State down to Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
They had a clash, man. This is even 2019.
Right.
You know, them boys been battling, going back and forth for so many years. So, you know, it's a beautiful thing to see that type of talent. You've been around that and everything, and how now they can see how much it can benefit them as well,
Right.
By being involved in that. Now, kind of talk about some other things that you have here. You have some also. You do your slam dunk contest. It's a slammer, you know, it gets down Tony Tone,
Right.
which is, I'm like, Tony Tone,
Yeah.
that one. Let's kind of talk about who else you train and stuff as far as like your kid, youth and things. How far is that reach for your training?
Like right now, I mean, I probably have like more so I focus on the Alabama area, but I get guys who's like, man, if I get some college guys who are working with me, next thing I may bring some of their teammates. I have kids who come from Atlanta, like they have like AAU teammates here.
Okay.
So like they may come for a week and stay. So it's like I get kids probably more so like Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, like those areas that come and train consistently. Then I got guys who play overseas who come and jump in workouts. Like, as I know, Giddy Potts, who stayed at Athens, we worked out pretty heavy this summer. So one of his teammates, Perrin Buford, he played at Middle Tennessee, but he's originally from Decatur. He came and worked out a little bit down here. So I see a little bit of everything as far as guys. So I just love just getting in the gym, man. That's my main thing.
Yes. And my next question for you, what do you think is like as far as because people be sleeping on it. They've been sleeping on the North Alabama. Now, not as much as football. We already headed the football on the football curve. But why do you feel like this area has been kind of getting slack or have been overlooked in years past, even though the talent has been here than it should have been?
I think one of the main issues, like you got guys who were like really, really good at young ages. So it's like then when they get to college, like they can be starters all through college. People feel like, oh man, they really didn't do anything, which is false. It was like, how many people get a 4-year scholarship? It was like, so you can't say like they didn't do anything. They just didn't go to the NBA. Like it's only very limited jobs for the NBA. Everybody can't make it.
Not that many teams. Shoot, yes, absolutely.
So I think Kyra making the league, that was big. So now, like these kids who are in the 4th or 5th grade, like, man, I see somebody who made the NBA who's in the exact same shoes I'm in right now, same leagues, all that stuff. So it was like you have a goal you can reach. I think it was cool seeing guys get to college, but you want to see somebody in the NBA, then your aspirations and your work ethic should be even higher going from that.
You know what? You're so right about that, man. Because it takes that time. It takes that. It's a process. You understand? It's a process, man. And I can be honest, bro. Like these kids different these days. Like the performance level, like we talk about, we play hard, we this and that. But these kids talented, bro. These kids are doing things that, like you said, we didn't see in our day. Jordan was the only person jumping from the free throw line. You know, we had Dr. J, but Jordan made it popular. You know, the rocking the baby and all that.
You see 10th graders,
high school jump from the line. Like what the? This kid is an alien. How you doing this? You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole new level, and the exposure is so major. I'm gonna ask you, how much do you think social media has played? Because you get kids, like you said, you talked about JD, he's a rare breed because he didn't transfer to bigger school when he easily could have. Humble as he is and things of that nature. How much of a negative, if you see a negative, that social media has played on kids shortening that process and I think tough skin?
Too many compared to probably growing up 20, 30 years ago. Like people were really playing for like the love of the game. Like they really didn't. I just want to hoop. It was like now it was like they play for like the attention, I would say. So it was like they really not playing to go out there and like, man, be the best player. Like, man, I just want to get some likes, man, get my
likes,
views up.
yep.
And somebody to come and film,
couple highlights,
put it out there. They not really worried about colleges seeing it. They just want to be popular on the gram. It was like, I mean, that's cool, but it was like, if you really want to like maximize it, man, go out there and kill everything, man. You got to work hard, man. It was like, nothing's easy. It was like, so you can't, just because you had a viral video, like some of the most viral hoopers, like, weren't even that highly recruited, like Julian Newman. Like,
that's the name I couldn't get to. It's a little short homie, like.
So it was like this. It's like it's starting to get out of hand now. Like, it's a sideshow. It's like, let's just play basketball. That's why like you kind of got like that disconnect between like the old heads and the younger guys. It was like, but it is what it is. You like you can't, like, they don't know what was going on 20 years ago. So this is what it is for them. It was like,
yes. You know what? That's so crazy. I was looking at that. I couldn't think of the dude's name. I'm like, it's a prime example. Like, he ain't gonna go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, his stature, don't work for, you know, got mad handles, you know what I'm saying? But he has a peak. And that peak could probably hit that peak at 10th, 11th grade, you know, as a matter of fact.
Exactly.